Mommy, tell me the truth. Who is my real father? Amara.
Watch your mouth!
Amara Okeke had lived all her life feeling like a stranger in her own family. Even when she was a child, she noticed it. Her mother, Ngozi, never held her the way other mothers held their daughters. Her stepfather, Chief Damien Okeke, never called her my child unless visitors were around. And her younger siblings treated her like someone who was brought into the house to serve them. In that house, Amara was not loved. She was tolerated. Every morning, before the sun fully rose over Enugu city, Amara would be the first person awake. She would sweep the compound, wash plates, fetch water when the tap stopped running, and prepare breakfast for everyone. But no matter how hard she worked, nobody thanked her. If food delayed, they insulted her. If anything got missing, they blamed her. If visitors praised her beauty, her mother would frown as if the compliment was an offense. Amara was beautiful, but it was a quiet kind of beauty. She had soft, dark skin, bright eyes, and a calm face that carried too much sadness for a woman her age. She was not loud, she was not troublesome. She was the kind of person who swallowed pain and smiled so nobody would ask questions. But deep inside, Amara was tired. She was tired of being treated like a mistake. One evening, after her younger sister, Kamsi, returned from the salon, she threw her bag on the chair and shouted, "Amara, come and remove my shoes." Amara looked at her quietly. "Kamsi, please, I am cooking. Can you remove it yourself?" Kamsi turned sharply. "What did you just say?" Before Amara could answer, her mother walked in from the passage. "Amara, why are you arguing with your sister?" "Mummy, I was not arguing. I only said—" "Shut up!" Ngozi snapped. "Must you always behave like someone who owns this house?" Amara lowered her eyes. That sentence entered her heart like a knife. Someone who owns this house. She had never owned anything in that family. Not love, not peace, not even her own story. That night, as Amara lay on her small bed in the back room, tears rolled down her face silently. She whispered to herself, "God, what did I do wrong? Why does my own family hate me like this?" But heaven was quiet, and the next morning, life continued. When Amara married Emeka Nwosu, people thought her suffering had finally ended. Emeka was handsome, hard-working, and respected in their community. He owned a small building materials business in Onitsha, and when he came to marry Amara, he looked like a man who could protect her from the pain of her mother's house. On their wedding day, Amara cried, not because she was sad, but because for the first time in her life, she believed someone had chosen her. As Emeka held her hand in front of the altar, he whispered, "From today, you will never cry alone again." Amara believed him. She believed every word. For the first year, their marriage was sweet. Emeka came home early. He bought her small gifts. He called her my peace. When Amara became pregnant, he carried her like an egg. And when their daughter Somto was born, Amara felt her heart had finally found a home. Somto was a beautiful little girl, with her mother's eyes and her father's smile. Whenever she laughed, the whole house felt warm. But slowly, everything changed. Emeka started coming home late. His phone became private. His voice became harsh. The same man who once begged Amara to eat now complained that she was gaining weight. The same man who called her peace now said she was becoming a burden. At first, Amara blamed herself. Maybe she was not dressing well enough. Maybe motherhood had changed her. Maybe she was not praying enough. So she tried harder. She cooked his favorite meals. She wore the dresses he liked. She kept the house clean. She prayed at midnight. She fasted. She begged God to return the man she married. But Emeka kept moving farther away. One night, after 5 years of marriage, Emeka came home with a cold face. Amara was sitting in the living room, folding Somto's small clothes. "Welcome, my husband," she said softly. Emeka did not answer. He dropped an envelope on the table. Amara looked at it. "What is this?" "Divorce papers," he said. The room became silent. Amara stared at him, confused. Emeka, what kind of joke is this? I am not joking. Her hands began to shake. Divorce? After 5 years? What did I do? Emeka avoided her eyes. This marriage is no longer working. Amara stood slowly. No longer working? Emeka, we have a child. We have a home. We made vows before God. He sighed impatiently. Amara, don't make this harder than it already is. Tears filled her eyes. Harder? You are ending my life and you are telling me not to make it hard. Somtu, their 3-year-old daughter, came out from the room holding her teddy bear. Mummy, why are you crying? Amara quickly wiped her tears and forced a smile. Nothing, my baby. Go back inside. But Somto looked at her father. Daddy, are you shouting at Mummy? Emeka looked away. That look broke Amara more than the divorce papers. Because a man who could not look at his own child while breaking her mother's heart had already left long before that night. 2 weeks later, Amara found out the truth. Her marriage did not die on its own. Someone had helped Emeka bury it. Her name was Cassandra. Cassandra was a rich young woman from a powerful family in Lagos. She wore expensive clothes, drove big cars, and posted every part of her life online. She was the kind of woman people admired from afar, but those who came close knew her pride could cut like a blade. Amara discovered everything through a message that entered Emeka's phone one evening while he was bathing. The message read, Baby, have you given her the papers? I am tired of hiding. I want to be your wife openly. Amara's body went cold. She did not scream. She did not break anything. She simply sat on the bed and waited for Emeka to come out. When he came out, towel around his waist, he saw the phone in her hand. His face changed. Why are you touching my phone? Amara looked at him. Who is Cassandra? Emeka froze. For a moment guilt flashed across his face, but it disappeared quickly. She is nobody. Amara stood up. Nobody wants to be your wife openly. Emeka looked away. Amara, give me my phone. Answer me. Her voice cracked. After everything? After I gave you my youth, my body, my loyalty, my prayers? After I carried your child? You threw me away because of another woman? Emeka became angry, not because she was wrong, but because she was right. Don't act like you are perfect, he shouted. You are always sad, always emotional, always carrying family problems. I am tired. Amara stepped back as if he slapped her. My family problems? Emeka, you knew my pain before you married me. Yes, and I thought I could handle it, but I can't anymore. Amara laughed bitterly through her tears. So you chose peace in another woman's arms. Emeka said nothing, and silence answered everything. That night, Amara packed a small bag for herself and Somto. She did not know where she was going, but she knew staying there would destroy what remained of her soul. As she carried sleeping Somto in her arms, Emeka stood by the door. You can't take my daughter away from me, he said. Amara looked at him with red eyes. I am not taking her away. I am taking her out of a house where her mother is being broken. Then she walked into the night, with one bag, one child, and a heart full of wounds. Amara returned to her mother's house, hoping that even if they never loved her before, they would at least pity her now. But she was wrong. The moment Ngozi saw her at the gate, with Somto sleeping on her shoulder, her face tightened. What happened? Amara swallowed tears. Emeka sent me away. Ngozi looked behind her. With all your bags. This is all I could carry. Chief Damien came out of the house, tying his wrapper. What is going on here? Ngozi hissed. Your daughter has returned from her husband's house. Chief Damien's face darkened. Returned? Amara, do you know the shame you have brought to this family? Amara stared at him. Papa, my husband served me divorce papers. So, he asked coldly, are you the first woman to have problems in marriage? You should have stayed and endured. Amara's lips trembled. He is with another woman. Ngozi folded her arms. Then fight for your home. That is what wise women do. Amara could not believe what she was hearing. Mummy, he doesn't want me anymore. Ngozi stepped closer. Then maybe you did something wrong. Those words broke something in Amara. All her life, she had been blamed for pain she did not create. As she stood there in the compound, holding her sleeping child, she realized she had no home anywhere. Her husband's house had rejected her. Her mother's house had never accepted her. Somto woke up and rubbed her eyes. "Mummy, are we sleeping here?" Amara forced a smile. "Yes, my baby." But inside she whispered, "I don't even know." That night, Amara and Somto slept in the same small back room where Amara had cried as a girl. The bed was old, the ceiling fan made noise, mosquitoes sang around them. Somto curled into her mother's chest. "Mummy, when are we going back to Daddy?" Amara closed her eyes. "I don't know, my love." "Does Daddy still love us?" Amara kissed her forehead. "Sleep, Somto," because some questions were too painful to answer. 3 days after Amara returned, she woke up at midnight to drink water. As she passed by the sitting room, she heard voices. Her mother and Chief Damien were talking in low tones. Amara stopped. Ngozi sounded afraid. "We cannot allow her to stay here for long. If people from Umweze find her, everything will scatter." Chief Damien replied sharply. "Lower your voice." Amara's heart began to beat faster. "People from Umweze?" She moved closer to the door. Ngozi continued. "I told you this secret will follow us. That child is not ordinary. Her father's people have been searching for years." Chief Damien sighed. "Her father is dead." Ngozi answered quickly. "You don't know that. Nobody confirmed it." Amara covered her mouth. Her father, the man she called Papa all her life, was not her real father? Chief Damien spoke again. "Whether he is dead or alive, Amara must never know the truth. If she enters that kingdom, she will become powerful, and everything we stole from her will be exposed." Amara's legs became weak. "Stole? What did they steal from her?" Ngozi's voice broke. "I was young. I was afraid. I did what I had to do." Chief Damien laughed quietly. "No, Ngozi, you did what greed told you to do." Amara leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Her whole life started shaking before her eyes. The rejection, the hatred, the way they treated her like a burden. It was not because she was worthless. It was because they were hiding something. Suddenly, Somto's voice came from behind her. "Mummy?" Amara turned quickly. The sitting room went silent. Ngozi opened the door. Her eyes widened when she saw Amara standing there. "Amara." Amara looked at her mother. "Who is my father?" Ngozi froze.
Mommy, tell me the truth. Who is my real father? Amara.
Watch your mouth.
Chief Damien came out slowly. "Go back to your room." Amara shook her head. "No, I heard you. Who is my father?" Ngozi's face changed from fear to anger. "You heard nothing." "I heard enough," Amara cried. "All my life you treated me like dirt. You made me feel like I was a curse. Now I am asking you one question. Who is my father?" Chief Damien stepped forward. "Don't raise your voice in my house." Amara turned to him. "Your house, or the house you built with what you stole from me?" The slap came fast. Chief Damien slapped Amara so hard she fell against the wall. Somto screamed, "Mummy!" Amara held her cheek, shocked. Ngozi shouted, "Damien!" But the damage had already been done. Amara stood slowly, tears running down her face. She looked at both of them. "That slap has answered me more than your mouth ever could." Then she carried Somto and returned to the room. But that night, Amara did not sleep. By morning, she had made a decision. She would find the truth. Even if the truth destroyed everybody, the only person Amara could think of was Mama Urena. Mama Urena was an old woman who used to sell herbs at Nkwo Market. When Amara was little, Mama Urena had once looked at her face and cried. At the time, Amara did not understand why. Now, she wanted answers. The next morning, she tied Somto to her back with a wrapper and went to the market. The sun was hot. Traders shouted prices. Buses honked. Women argued over tomatoes and fish. Amara walked through the noise until she saw Mama Urena sitting under a torn umbrella, arranging dry leaves in small bowls. The old woman looked up. The moment she saw Amara, her hands stopped moving. "My child," she whispered. Amara knelt before her. "Mama, please, I need to know who I am." Mama Urena's eyes filled with tears. "So, the day has finally come." Amara's heart jumped. "You know something?" Mama Urena looked around nervously. "Not here." She packed her herbs quickly and led Amara behind the market, near an old mango tree. There, away from the noise, the old woman held Amara's hands. "Your real name is not Amara Okeke." Amara's breath caught. "What is my name?" Mama Urena looked into her eyes. "Your name is Princess Amarachi Chukudi of Umueze Kingdom." Amara stepped back. "Princess?" The word sounded like something from a dream. "No," she whispered, "that is not possible." Mama Urena nodded slowly. "Your father is His Royal Majesty, Eze Chukudi of Umueze. He was the rightful king. Your mother was his beloved woman before greed entered her heart." Amara felt dizzy. "My mother?" "Ngozi was not poor when she met him," Mama Urena said. "She was loved. She was chosen. The king wanted to marry her properly, but palace enemies did not want the child in her womb to be born." Amara touched her chest. "Me?" "Yes, you." Mama Urena continued. "There was a prophecy. The elders said the first daughter of Eze Chukudi would carry the bloodline that would save the kingdom. Through her womb, the next great king would come." Amara's eyes widened. "But I am not a queen. I am divorced. I have a child. My life is broken." Mama Urena shook her head. "Broken calabash can still hold water if the hand of God repairs it." Amara began to cry. "Then why did my mother hide me?" Mama Urena's face became sad. "Because money was offered. Power was promised. Chief Damien helped her disappear. Your father searched for you for years. Some said he went mad with grief. Some said he was poisoned. Some said he is still alive but hidden." Amara covered her mouth. All her pain now had a root. She had not been rejected because she was nothing. She had been rejected because she was too important. Mama Urena reached into her wrapper and brought out an old bronze pendant. It had the carving of a lion and a river. "Your father gave this to Ngozi before you were born. I took it from her the night she ran away. I knew one day you would need it." Amara held the pendant with shaking hands. "What does it mean?" Mama Urena whispered. "The lion of Umueze and the river of life. It is the mark of the royal blood." Amara stared at it. For the first time in her life, something belonged to her. Something real. Something older than pain. Then Mama Urena looked over Amara's shoulder and suddenly became afraid. "Amara, go, now." Amara turned. Two men were standing at the far end of the path, watching them. They wore black clothes. Their eyes were fixed on her. Mama Urena pushed the pendant into Amara's palm. "Hide it, run." Amara held Somto tightly and walked fast through the market. Her heart was beating so loudly she could barely hear the traders around her. She looked back. The men were still following. One of them spoke into a phone. Amara entered the crowded food section, past women frying akara, pushed through people buying gari, and came out near the bus stop. "Mummy, why are we running?" Somto asked. Amara forced her voice to stay calm. "We are playing a game, my love. Hold me tight." She entered a keke quickly. "Madam, where?" the rider asked. "Anywhere. Just move first." The keke sped off. Amara looked back. The two men reached the roadside too late. One of them pointed at her. The other made a call. Amara held the pendant inside her blouse and whispered, "God, what have I entered?" By the time she returned home, her hands were still shaking. She entered quietly, hoping to pack a few clothes and leave before her mother saw her. But Ngozi was waiting in the room. Her face was cold. "Where did you go?" Amara looked at her. "To find myself." Ngozi's eyes moved to Amara's chest. "Who did you meet?" Amara said nothing. Ngozi stepped closer. "Did you go to Mama Urena?" Amara's silence answered. Ngozi's face changed. "You foolish girl. You don't know what you are playing with." Amara looked at her mother, with tears in her eyes. No, mummy, you are the one who played with my life. Ngozi looked away. I protected you. Amara laughed painfully. Protected me? From love? From my father? From my own name? Ngozi's eyes filled with tears, but she held them back. You think palace life is sweet. You think royal blood is peace. That kingdom eats its own children. Then why did you take money from them? Amara asked. Ngozi froze. Amara brought out the pendant. The moment Ngozi saw it, she stepped back, as if she had seen a ghost. Where did you get that? From someone who loved me enough to keep the truth. Ngozi shook her head. Give it to me. No. Amara, give it to me now. Somto began to cry. Chief Damien entered. What is happening? His eyes landed on the pendant. His face turned dark. Where did you get that thing? Amara held it tightly. It belongs to me. Chief Damien moved toward her. Give it here. Amara stepped back. No. He raised his hand again, but this time Amara did not close her eyes. She looked straight at him. Touch me again, and I will scream this whole street down. For the first time, Chief Damien stopped. Amara carried Somto's small bag. Ngozi blocked the door. Where are you going? Amara's voice shook, but she was no longer weak. To Umweze. Ngozi's face went pale. You cannot go there. I must. They will kill you. Then at least I will die knowing who I am. Ngozi began to cry. Amara, please. That was the first time her mother had ever begged her, but it came too late. Amara looked at the woman who gave birth to her and said, You had 28 years to tell me the truth. Now I will find it myself. Then she walked out. With her daughter, with the pendant, and with danger following behind her. News travels fast when people wanted to destroy you. By evening, Emeka heard that Amara had left her mother's house and was asking questions about Umweze Kingdom. He was sitting in Cassandra's apartment in Lekki when the call came. It was Kamsi, Amara's younger sister. Brother Emeka, you need to hear this. Amara has gone mad. Emeka frowned. What happened? She is claiming she is a princess. Cassandra, who was sitting beside him, laughed loudly. Princess, that your village wife? Emeka put the phone on speaker. Kamsi continued. She said her real father is Eze Chukwudi of Umueze Kingdom. Emeka sat up. The name sounded familiar. Umueze was not an ordinary village. It was a wealthy kingdom known for oil lands, ancient shrines, and powerful families. Their kingship mattered. Their royal bloodline was respected across the east. Cassandra stopped laughing. Wait, which Umueze? Kamsi replied, the big one, the royal one. Emeka's chest tightened. Suddenly, the woman he threw away did not look so useless anymore. After the call ended, Cassandra stared at him. Did you know about this? No, Cassandra scoffed. So your ex-wife may be royalty? Emeka rubbed his forehead. I don't know if it's true. Cassandra stood up. You better pray it is not true. Emeka looked at her. Why? She smiled coldly. Because if that woman becomes powerful, you will regret humiliating her. Emeka said nothing, but deep inside, regret had already started knocking. He remembered Amara, carrying Somto into the night. He remembered her tears. He remembered the divorce papers. For the first time, he wondered if he had thrown away the only woman who ever truly loved him. The road to Umweze was long. Amara sat by the window of an old bus, holding Somto close. The pendant was hidden under her blouse. Every time the bus entered a pothole, Somto would wake up and cling to her. Mummy, where are we going? To meet our people, Amara said. Will they love us? Amara looked out of the window. Palm trees passed by. Red earth rose behind moving cars. Women sold bananas by the roadside. Men argued at checkpoints. I don't know, she whispered, but we have to try. By late afternoon, the bus entered Umweze. The village did not look like the place Amara expected. It was beautiful, but tense. Large gates stood in front of big houses. Old trees lined the roads. Men sat in groups. discussing with serious faces. Women stared at strangers carefully. At the center of the kingdom stood the palace. It was huge, ancient, powerful. The walls were painted white and red, with lion carvings at the entrance. As Amara stood before the palace gate, her legs became weak. Somto looked up. "Mummy, is this our new house?" Amara almost laughed and cried at the same time. "I don't know, my baby." A guard approached them. "Yes? Who are you looking for?" Amara swallowed. "I want to see the elders." The guard looked at her dressing and frowned. "Do you have an appointment?" "No." "Then leave." Amara held the pendant. "Please, tell them Amarachi has come home." The guard froze. "What did you say?" "My name is Amarachi Chukwudi." The guard's eyes dropped to her hand as she opened her palm. The bronze pendant shone under the sun. The guard stepped back. Within minutes, the palace gate opened, and 5 elders came out. The oldest one, Chief Obina, stared at Amara as if he was seeing a ghost. His lips trembled. "Where did you get that pendant?" Amara's eyes filled with tears. "It was my father's." Chief Obina moved closer. "Who is your father?" Amara lifted her chin. "Ize Chukwudi of Umueze." A deep silence fell. Then one of the elders whispered, "After all these years." Chief Obina looked at Amara's face, then at Somto. He touched his chest and said, "The lost blood has returned." Amara closed her eyes. For the first time in her life, people were not pushing her away. They were looking at her like someone they had been waiting for. But behind the palace curtain, someone else was watching. A woman dressed in expensive red lace stood by the window. Her name was Queen Ifeoma. She was the current queen mother of Umueze. And when she saw Amara, her face turned deadly. She whispered, "No, this girl should have died years ago." Amara was led into the palace, with Somto holding her hand tightly. Every step felt heavy. The palace smelled of incense, old wood, and power. Pictures of past kings hung on the walls. Royal drums sat in corners. Servants moved quietly, but their eyes followed Amara everywhere. Chief Obina led her into the council hall. There, more elders gathered. Some looked shocked. Some looked happy. Some looked afraid. Chief Obina raised the pendant. "This is the royal mark. This child carries the blood of Eze Chukwudi." An elder named Chief Nueke frowned. "A pendant is not enough. Anybody can carry old bronze." Amara looked at him. "I did not come here to fight. I came to know who I am." Chief Nueke scoffed. "Many people come to this palace with stories." Chief Obina turned sharply. "Look at her face, Nueke. Look well." The hall became silent. An old woman servant stepped forward slowly. Her name was Mama Ebere. She had served in the palace for over 40 years. When she saw Amara properly, she covered her mouth and began to cry. "Chukwudi's eyes," she whispered. "She has the king's eyes." Amara's heart shook. Mama Ebere came closer and touched Amara's cheek. "My child, we searched for you." Amara broke down. Those words finished her. "We searched for you." All her life, she thought nobody wanted her. But somewhere, people had been searching. She fell to her knees and cried like a child. "I thought I was alone," she sobbed. "I thought I was unwanted." Mama Ebir held her. "No, my princess, you were stolen." Somto started crying too, because her mother was crying. Chief Obina wiped his eyes. "Prepare a room for Princess Amarachi and her daughter." But before anyone could move, a cold voice entered the hall. Who gave that order? Everyone turned. Queen Ifeoma walked in slowly. She was beautiful in a dangerous way. Her wrapper was expensive, her jewelry was heavy, her face carried authority, but her eyes carried hatred. Chief Obina bowed slightly. "Queen Ifeoma." She ignored him and looked at Amara. "So this is the woman claiming to be Chukwudi's lost daughter." Amara stood, wiping her tears. "I am not claiming, I am searching." Queen Ifeoma smiled. "Searching for what? Wealth? Title? Palace food?" The words stung, but Amara did not bow her head. "I have lived without all those things. I came for truth." Queen Ifeoma stepped closer. Truth can kill people, my dear. Amara held Somto's hand. Lies already killed me many times, the elders murmured. Queen Ifeoma's eyes hardened. Chief Obina spoke firmly. Until the council completes the royal blood rites, she will remain under palace protection. Queen Ifeoma turned to him. Protection or foolishness? Chief Obina did not move. The law is clear. Queen Ifeoma looked back at Amara. Enjoy your stay, Amarachi. But remember this. Not every door that opens is a welcome. Then she walked away. Amara watched her go. For the first time since entering the palace, fear touched her heart again. Because she knew that look. It was the same look her mother used to give her. The look of a woman hiding something. That evening, Mama Ebir took Amara to a private room in the old wing of the palace. This was your father's study, she said softly. Amara entered slowly. Dust covered some shelves. Old books lined the wall. A royal chair sat near the window. On the table was an old framed picture of a young king. Amara walked closer. The man in the picture had her eyes, her nose, her quiet smile. Her whole body shook. Papa, she whispered. Not Chief Damien, not the man who slapped her. This man, this was her father. She touched the frame and began to cry. I looked for you in every man that rejected me, she whispered. I did not know you were somewhere looking for me too. Mama Eber stood behind her, crying silently. Your father loved your mother deeply. When she disappeared with you, he was never the same. Where is he? Amara asked. Mama Ebere looked down. Nobody knows. Amara turned. What do you mean nobody knows? The palace announced he died after an illness, but some of us never saw his body. The burial was rushed. Queen Ifeoma controlled everything. Amara's heart pounded. So he may still be alive? Mama Ebere looked toward the door before answering. In this palace, walls have ears, but I will tell you this. Before your father disappeared, he left a letter. A letter? Mama Ebere nodded. I hid it. I was waiting for the day his child would return. She opened a loose plank under the shelf and brought out a small wrapped cloth. Inside was an old letter. Amara took it with shaking hands. On the front was written, For my daughter, Amarachi, if heaven brings her home. Amara could barely breathe. She opened the letter. The handwriting was strong but faded. My daughter, if you are reading this, then the gods and God Almighty have answered my tears. They took you from me before I could hold you properly, but my blood will know its road home. Trust no one who smiles too quickly. The throne is sick, the kingdom is in danger. Your child will carry what they fear most. Find the river shrine before the next new moon. There, the truth about my death will be revealed. Amara's hands shook violently. Her child, Somto. She looked at her little girl sleeping on the bed. What does this mean? She whispered. Mama Eber's face was filled with fear. It means your return is not only about your past. Amara looked at the letter again. Mama Eber finished quietly. It is about the future of the kingdom. 2 days later, Emeka arrived at Umweze. He came dressed in a clean white senator outfit, trying to look respectable. But the worry on his face betrayed him. At the palace gate, he told the guards, I am here to see my wife. The guard looked at him. Your wife? Yes. Amara Nwosu. Another guard replied, There is no Amara Nwosu here. Emeka frowned. She came here with my daughter. The first guard looked at him coldly. You mean Princess Amarachi? The title hit Emeka like a slap. Princess. So it was true. After waiting for almost 1 hour, he was finally allowed to enter the visitors' courtyard. Amara came out wearing a simple but beautiful blue wrapper given to her by Mama AB. She was not dressed like a queen, but something about her had changed. She stood straighter. Her eyes were no longer begging. Emeka swallowed. Amara. She looked at him. Why are you here? I came to see my daughter. Somto is resting. And you? Amara smiled sadly. You remembered me? Emeka looked ashamed. I made mistakes. Amara said nothing. He stepped closer. I was confused. Cassandra pushed me. I was under pressure. Amara laughed softly. Pressure does not sign divorce papers, Emeka. A man does. He looked down. I am sorry. Those were words Amara had once prayed to hear. But now that they came, they sounded empty. Are you sorry because you broke me? She asked. Or because you found out I may be royal? Emeka's eyes lifted quickly. That was enough answer. Amara nodded. I thought so. No, Amara, please. It is not like that. It is exactly like that. He moved closer. I still love you. Amara's eyes filled with tears, but she refused to let them fall. Before Emeka could answer, Somto ran into the courtyard. Daddy! Emeka bent and carried her, tears filling his eyes. My princess. Amara looked away. That word hurt, because he had never called her that until now. As Somto hugged him, a man entered the courtyard. Tall, calm, dressed in dark traditional attire. His name was Prince Kenechukwu. He was the son of a neighboring royal family and the palace lawyer handling Amara's verification. He bowed slightly. Princess Amarachi, the elders are waiting. Emeka looked at him. Who is this? Amara answered calmly. Someone helping me find the truth. Emeka held Somto tighter. Prince Kenechukwu looked at Emeka and smiled politely, but his eyes were sharp. And you are? Emeka hesitated. I am her husband, Amara corrected him gently. Ex-husband. The word landed heavily. Emeka stared at her. For the first time he understood. He had not just lost a wife. He had lost access to a woman he never truly valued. That night, the elders gathered at the inner courtyard for the blood rite. It was not dark and frightening like Amara imagined. Lamps were placed around the courtyard. Women sang softly. The royal drumbeat was slow, like a heartbeat. At the center stood a carved wooden bowl, filled with water from the ancient river. Chief Obinna explained, this rite does not create truth. It reveals what is already true. Amara held Somto's hand. Queen Ifeoma stood nearby, watching with a tight face. Chief Nweke, who doubted Amara, brought out a royal blade and pricked Amara's finger gently. One drop of blood fell into the water. Then he brought an old cloth stained with Eze Chukwudi's preserved blood from past royal rites. He dipped it into the same bowl. The water became still. For a moment, nothing happened. Queen Ifeoma smiled. Then suddenly, the lamps flickered. The water began to swirl. The bronze pendant on Amara's neck grew warm. The elders gasped. Chief Obinna fell to one knee. The blood has answered. Mama Ebere began to cry. She is his daughter. One after another, the elders bowed. Welcome home, Princess Amarachi. Amara stood frozen. All her life, she had waited for one person to claim her. Now a whole kingdom was bowing. Somto looked around and whispered, Mummy, why are they kneeling? Amara bent and hugged her. Because God has finally answered us. But while everyone watched Amara, nobody noticed Queen Ifeoma leave the courtyard. She entered her private chamber, locked the door, and made a call. Her voice was low and dangerous. She has been confirmed. The person on the other end said something. Queen Ifeoma replied, No, we cannot wait anymore. If she reaches the river shrine before the new moon, everything is finished. She paused, then said the words that would change Amara's life again. Take the child first. Without the child, the prophecy is useless. The next morning, the palace looked peaceful, but peace can sometimes be a cloth covering danger. Amara woke up early and found Somto still sleeping beside her. The little girl's hand was resting on her mother's chest, as if even in sleep, she was afraid someone would take Amara away from her. Amara kissed her forehead. My little sunshine, she whispered. Nobody will separate us. But she did not know that, outside her door, 2 palace maids were already watching. One of them was loyal to Queen Ifeoma. The other was afraid to disobey. Later that morning, Mama Ebere came in with food. Princess, you must eat. Amara shook her head. I cannot eat, Mama. My heart is restless. Mama Ebere looked at her carefully. What happened? Amara brought out her father's letter again. He said I should find the river shrine before the next new moon. What is there? Mama Ebere's face became serious. The river shrine is where the first kings of Umueze made their oath. It is also where secrets are buried. Can you take me there? Mama Ebere looked toward Somto. Not with the child. Amara held Somto tighter. I cannot leave her. Before Mama Ebere could answer, a palace maid entered and bowed. Princess, Chief Obina said the elders want to see you. Amara frowned. Now? Yes, my princess. Mama Ebere looked confused. I did not hear any meeting. The maid smiled nervously. They said it is urgent. Amara stood slowly. I will go with Somto. The maid quickly said, No, princess. They said the child should rest. The meeting is only for adults. Something in Amara's heart became cold. She looked at Mama Eber. Mama Eber's eyes also changed. Who sent you? Mama Eber asked. The maid swallowed. The elders. Which elder? The maid could not answer. At that moment, Somto woke up and rubbed her eyes. Mummy? Amara moved closer to her. The maid suddenly turned and tried to leave, but Prince Kenechukwu appeared at the doorway. Where are you rushing to? The maid froze. Kenechukwu looked at Amara. Princess, there is no elders' meeting. Amara's heart dropped. Mama Ebere grabbed the maid's arm. Talk! Who sent you? The maid burst into tears. Please don't kill me. It was Queen Ifeoma. She said I should bring the princess out so they can take the child. Amara's knees almost failed. Somto looked confused. Mummy, who wants to take me? Amara carried her immediately. No one, my baby, no one. Kenechukwu's jaw tightened. Princess, from this moment, Somto must not leave your sight. Mama Ebere whispered. The prophecy has started. Chief Obina confronted Queen Ifeoma before the council. The elders sat in the royal hall, their faces heavy with anger and fear. Queen Ifeoma entered like a woman who had done nothing wrong. Chief Obina raised his voice. You tried to separate the child from her mother. Queen Ifeoma laughed softly. Is that what one scared maid told you? The maid confessed. Queen Ifeoma waved her hand. Servants say anything when they are afraid. Amara stood near the elders with Somto beside her. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was firm. Why do you hate me? Queen Ifeoma turned to her. Hate you? My dear, I do not even know you enough to hate you. Amara stepped forward. But you know enough to fear me. The hall became silent. Queen Ifeoma's smile disappeared. Amara continued. My father's letter said the throne is sick. He said my child carries what you fear most. So tell me, Queen Ifeoma, what are you hiding? Queen Ifeoma moved closer. You came here yesterday, and today you are questioning me. I came here with a wound, Amara said, but I will not leave here blind. Chief Nweki banged his staff on the floor. Enough. Until the new moon passes, the princess and her child will remain under royal protection. Queen Ifeoma turned sharply. You cannot give orders over me. Chief Obina stood. We are not giving orders over you. We are protecting the bloodline. Queen Ifeoma looked at each elder slowly. Then she laughed. You people think royal blood alone can save a kingdom. Let me remind you, blood can also be spilled. Amara held Somto closer. Kenechukwu stepped in front of them. Threatening the princess before the council is not wise. Queen Ifeoma looked him up and down. Ah, Prince Kenechukwu, the lawyer prince, always pretending to be righteous. Kenechukwu did not answer. Queen Ifeoma smiled coldly. Be careful, some women carry curses. You may think you are saving her, but she may be the reason your own house falls. Then she walked out. Amara watched her leave and felt fear rise again. But this time, something stronger rose with it. Anger. For 28 years, people had controlled her life with fear. Not anymore. Emeka was still in Umueze. He claimed he stayed because of Somto, but everybody could see there was more in his eyes. He watched the way people bowed to Amara. He watched the way guards opened doors for her. He watched the way Prince Kenechukwu stood close, always calm, always respectful, always protective. And jealousy began to burn inside him. That evening, he found Amara in the palace garden. She was sitting under a hibiscus tree while Somto played with Mama Ebere nearby. Emeka walked toward her. "We need to talk." Amara looked tired. "About Somto?" "About us." "There is no us, Emeka." He swallowed hard. "Why are you doing this?" Amara looked at him in surprise. "Doing what?" "Acting like I am now your enemy." She stood up slowly. "You divorced me. You brought another woman into our marriage. You let me carry our child into the night with one bag. What should I call you?" Emeka rubbed his face. "I said I am sorry. Sorry is not a broom, Emeka. It cannot sweep away everything." He looked toward Kenechukwu, who stood at a distance speaking with a guard. "So now he is the one you trust?" Amara followed his eyes. "This is not about him. It is about him. I see the way he looks at you." Amara laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. "You never looked at me when I was crying in your house. Now you are watching who looks at me." Emeka's face fell. "I was foolish. Yes, I was blind. Yes, I want my family back." Amara's eyes filled with tears. "You don't want your family back. You want the version of your life where you are not the villain." Emeka became quiet. That one entered him. Somto ran to them. "Daddy, are you staying?" Emeka bent down. "My baby, do you want Daddy to stay?" Somto nodded. "I want Daddy and Mummy to stop being sad." Amara turned away quickly. Children do not understand divorce. They only understand empty chairs, silent meals, and parents who no longer smile together. Emeka looked at Amara with pleading eyes, but her heart was too wounded to open so easily. 2 nights before the new moon, Amara decided she could not wait anymore. Queen Ifeoma was becoming more dangerous. The palace felt like a beautiful prison, and her father's letter kept burning in her mind. Find the river shrine before the next new moon. So, before sunrise, Amara prepared quietly. She tied Somto to her back, wore a dark wrapper, hid the pendant under her blouse, and met Mama Ebere behind the old kitchen. Kenechukwu was already there. Amara looked surprised. "You are coming?" He nodded. "Your father's enemies are still alive. You should not walk alone." Amara looked at him for a moment. There was something about Kenechukwu that did not rush her. He did not touch her without permission. He did not speak over her. He did not make her feel small. For a woman who had been broken by careless love, respect felt strange. "Thank you," she said. They left through a back path. The road to the river shrine passed through thick bushes, red earth, and tall palm trees. Birds cried from the forest. The morning mist sat low on the ground. Somto slept quietly on Amara's back. After almost 1 hour, they reached the river. It was calm. Too calm. At the edge of the water stood an old stone shrine covered with white chalk marks and faded red cloth. Beside it was a carved lion statue, half swallowed by roots. Mama Ebere knelt. "This is the beginning of Umweze." Amara stepped forward. The pendant became warm again. Kenechukwu noticed. "Are you okay?" Amara nodded, though her hands were shaking. She moved closer to the stone shrine. There was a small hole in the lion carving, shaped like the pendant. Amara removed the pendant from her neck and placed it into the hole. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a stone shifted. A hidden space opened under the shrine. Inside was a small metal box. Mama Eber gasped. Amara brought it out. The box was old, but not rusted. On top of it was written, "Blood remembers." Kenechukwu opened it carefully. Inside were documents, a royal seal, and another letter. Amara recognized her father's handwriting. She opened the letter with tears already filling her eyes. "My daughter, if this reaches you, then I am either dead or hidden from the world. Queen Ifeoma and Chief Damien worked with palace enemies to remove you. Your mother was weak, but she was not the only one guilty. I was poisoned slowly. When I discovered the truth, I hid this proof. If the kingdom accepts a false heir, Umweze will fall into the hands of those who sold our land, our river, and our children's future." Amara covered her mouth. Chief Damien, her stepfather, he was not just hiding her. He helped destroy her father. The letter continued. Your daughter is not cursed. She is the bridge. Through your bloodline, the true king will rise again. Protect her. Trust the one who stands for truth when it costs him everything. Amara's tears fell on the paper. Mama, she whispered. My father knew. Mama Eber cried. He knew they betrayed him. Suddenly, Kenechukwu turned sharply. We are not alone. From the bushes, 4 men stepped out. The same men from the market. One of them smiled. Princess, hand over the box and the child. Amara's blood ran cold. Kenechukwu moved in front of Amara. Stay behind me. The men laughed. One brought out a knife. This is not palace court, Prince. No law here. Sumto woke up and started crying. Mummy! Amara untied her quickly and held her close. The first man rushed forward. Kenechukwu grabbed his arm and threw him to the ground. The second man attacked from the side. Mama Eber screamed. Amara held the box tightly and moved backward toward the river. One of the men came toward her. Give me the child, Amara screamed. Never. He grabbed her wrapper and pulled. Sumta cried loudly. In that moment, something in Amara changed. She was no longer the woman begging for love. She was no longer the girl crying in the back room. She was a mother, and a mother defending her child can become fire. Amara picked up a stone and struck the man's hand. He shouted and released her. Kenechukwu fought hard, but the men were many. One hit him on the head with a stick. He staggered. Amara screamed. Kenechukwu! The injured man grabbed Somto's arm. Somto cried. Mummy! Amara pulled her back with all her strength. No! There was a struggle. Then suddenly, a gunshot sounded in the air. Everyone froze. Chief Obinna stepped out from the bush with palace guards. Touch that child again, and you will not leave this forest alive. The men tried to run, but the guards caught 2 of them. The others escaped into the bush. Amara fell to the ground, holding Somto and crying. Kenechukwu came to her side, blood on his forehead. Chief Obinna picked up the box. His face grew heavy as he read the documents. So it is true. Mama Ebiere asked, What is true? Chief Obinna looked at Amara. Your father may still be alive. Amara stopped breathing. What? Chief Obinna held up one of the documents. This is a transfer order. Years ago, a royal prisoner was secretly moved to an old mission house outside Umweze. The name was hidden, but the seal belongs to your father. Amara's whole body trembled. My father is alive? Chief Obinna's voice was low. If he is, then Queen Ifehoma has kept him hidden for years. Amara looked toward the palace far away. The fear in her heart turned into fire. Then take me to him. They did not return to the palace first. Chief Obinna knew that if Queen Ifeoma discovered they had found the box, she would move faster. So they went straight to the old mission house. It stood at the edge of the kingdom, abandoned from outside, but guarded quietly by men who pretended to be farmers. The palace guards surrounded the place. After a short struggle, they entered. Inside, the air smelled of medicine and dust. Amara walked through the dark hallway, holding Somto with one hand and the pendant with the other. At the end of the building was a locked room. Chief Obinna broke the padlock. The door opened. On a small bed lay an old, weak man. His beard was gray. His body was thin. But his eyes? Amara knew those eyes. The same eyes from the picture. The same eyes she carried in her own face. Her voice broke. Papa? The old man turned slowly. For a moment he stared at her like someone waking from a long dream. Then tears filled his eyes. Amarachi? Amarachi fell beside the bed. Papa! The king tried to lift his hand. She held it and pressed it to her face. My daughter, he cried. My child. They told me you died. Amara sobbed like her heart was tearing open. They told me you did not exist. Somto stood quietly, confused and afraid. The king looked at her. And this? Amara wiped her tears. This is my daughter, Somto. The old king smiled through tears. The bridge. Somto moved closer. Are you my grandpa? The king laughed weakly and cried at the same time. Yes, my little one. I am your grandpa. Somto touched his hand. Why are you sleeping here? The room became silent. Amara closed her eyes. How do you explain wickedness to a child? Eze Chukudi looked at his daughter. I am sorry I was not there. Amara shook her head. No, Papa. They stole us from each other. He looked toward Chief Obina. The kingdom? Chief Obina lowered his head. Sick, my king. Eze Chukudi closed his eyes. Ifioma, Amara's voice hardened. She will answer. The old king held her hand. Do not let revenge eat your heart, but do not let evil go unchallenged. Amara nodded. For the first time in her life, her father was holding her hand, and even though he was weak, that touch healed something deep inside her. The palace courtyard was filled with people. Drums sounded. Women danced. Men wore red caps. Children threw flowers. Amara stood beside her father, dressed in a beautiful royal blue outfit, with coral beads around her neck. Somto wore a small white dress and smiled at everyone. Eze Chukudi held Amara's hand before the crowd. This is my daughter, he said, his voice weak but proud. The child they stole from me, the blood that found her way home. The crowd shouted. Amara cried openly, not because she was sad, but because for the first time, her tears had somewhere to rest. Her father continued. She came back with wounds. But wounds do not disqualify destiny. Sometimes, the person rejected by a family is the one chosen to heal a kingdom. Tuwil. The crowd clapped. Amara looked at Somto. Her little girl waved at the people, innocent and happy. Amara whispered, May you never beg for love the way I did. Kenechukwu stood among the elders, watching her with quiet pride. Emeka stood far behind the crowd. He clapped slowly, tears in his eyes. He had lost her, but he was also proud of her. And sometimes, punishment is watching someone become great after you treated them like nothing. That night, after the celebration, Amara returned to her room, tired but peaceful. Somto was already asleep. Mama Eber entered with a tray of tea. My princess, you need rest. Amara smiled. For the first time, Mama, I think I can sleep. But before Mama Eber could answer, a guard knocked. Princess, a message came for you. Amara frowned. At this time, the guard handed her a folded paper. There was no name on it. Only one sentence written in red ink. Your mother lied again. Somto is not only Emeka's child. Ask Nosy what happened the night before your wedding. Amara's hand froze. Mama Ebere saw her face change. What is it? Amara could not speak. She read the message again. Her heart began to pound. Somto is not only Emeka's child. What did that mean? Who sent this? And what happened the night before her wedding? As Amara stood there shaking, another sound came from outside. A scream. Then a guard shouted from the courtyard. Fire! Fire in the old palace wing! Amara ran to the window. Flames were rising from the direction of her father's study, the room where the letters had been kept, the room where the truth began. And in the middle of the confusion, Amara saw a shadow moving near the gate, a woman's shadow. Queen Ifeoma had escaped. Amara held the note tightly. Her past had returned again, and this time it was coming for her daughter. If this emotional African royal story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. And tell me in the comments, do you think Amara should trust her mother again? Or is Ngozi still hiding the biggest secret of all? Because what Amara is about to discover next may destroy everything she just found.